What's up, Vox and Hops heads? I'm Matt, the vocalist of Cryptopsy, and you're listening to my podcast, Vox and Hops, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians and we talk about their lives, their music, and most importantly, craft beer. Here we are, week number 3 of the Heavy Montreal interviews. On today's podcast, I sat down with Kyle Anderson of Brand of Sacrifice, who, as a surprise to me, happened to be a Canadian boy. So check it all out. This is episode number 51 of Vox and Hops.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm with Kyle Anderson from Brand of Sacrifice. We are at Heavy Montreal.
That's right.
Yeah, how do you feel about this fest? What's this shit like?
I don't think I've ever played a show this large in my life.
Oh,
so
yeah?
It's a crazy new experience for me.
Let's talk about how you started screaming.
Okay.
Let's get in there.
So I started off about 12 years ago when I was in 11th grade in high school. I listened to As I Lay Dying, and I wanted to sound just like Tim from As I Lay Dying, and I was terrible. I started off doing kind of a whisper scream type thing.
Like a fry
whisper scream type thing, and then I was inhaling at the
really?
time.
I've heard that hurts a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely causing some damage. And then, I was like, this isn't sustainable. So I started watching the Zen of Screaming, those the video series.
Do you use it still?
I don't use it anymore.
Okay. Because I use it religiously.
Like the warm-ups and
Absolutely,
whatnot?
brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All the time. Yeah.
So I started doing proper vocal fry at that point. And then I guess I wanted to transition to something a little more brutal sounding, and I ended up switching to false chord for all my screams.
Awesome.
So gutturals, lows, highs, mids, it's all false chord now.
Which is very closely tied for people at home to Tibetan monks singing.
That's right.
Which is very interesting, yeah.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
It's
a lot of people think that we're hurting ourselves, but it's actually very easy.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
It's all been the technique and the breathing and all that good stuff.
It's going from studio. It's always the hardest thing to go from studio and then to take it live in the jam room and then to take it live on the stage when you're moving.
Exactly.
That's when it gets the hardest.
Endurance.
Exactly. Because you're huffing and you're not supporting the diaphragm the way it should be.
Yeah.
And then your voice ends up going in this weird direction.
That's right.
And you're pushing because you want to keep getting that tone and then you don't hit it.
And then you might end up with a sore throat the next morning if you're not careful. So
how do you stay healthy on the road? What's your secret?
I just try and make sure my monitors are nice and cranked. I want to switch to in-ears, I think, now, but I'm waiting to hear back from Sennheiser and stuff like that. I'm going to order some stuff, but for now I just make sure I got a good monitor mix, and I'll definitely warm up. I'll just do a few screams just behind the stage or whatnot.
Straight to scream.
Just regular screams. But
you start off with a scream. You don't do anything building up to a scream. You just go straight to a scream.
I just started a scream. Just like an E and an O sound. Not really any actual words or anything like that. And I'll do that for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then I find that's been good for me. I used to do we were talking about the warm-ups, but I found this is pretty sustainable for me. I can go for a month without an issue.
I feel if I'm touring, I can just go straight to screaming and feel okay.
Yeah.
But if I'm not touring, I have to get myself up to a certain point. I don't know how it is with you. When I go home and I don't scream for 2-3 months, I get back and I try to do. I have a Chris bark, I call it, which is just a loud shout, which is all my gutturals at this point, which is probably the false chords.
Yep.
And then if I try to do my fry voice, it fucking sucks. And it takes me a good song and a half to place it back again. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I scream. I don't know if that's the same thing for you.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm at home, we actually record all our music ourselves.
Really?
So,
Congrats.
It's a lot of fun. I feel like I have a lot more control over the way I want myself to sound and things like that. But definitely, if I hadn't screamed in a while, I'll start tracking this feels a bit off. So I'll have to go back and redo those takes, and then eventually I get in the zone. So it's very similar to what you're talking about. 2-3
songs in, and then you got to go back and redo them because this sounds actually
Yeah. The patterns are there. It's just not the exact
tone.
Performance you want in the tone. Yeah.
Today I brought with me a Granville Island Brewing West Coast IPA. Let's see what the sucker's got.
All right.
It's graciously supplied to me to share with my guests. Cheers.
Cheers. Definitely an IPA guy.
Are you? That was my next question. Do you like craft beer?
I do. I'm not a connoisseur or anything like that, but much preferred over type of regular
swill.
Canadian swill, yes.
What would be your first beer? Do you remember your first beer?
My first beer is probably a Molson Canadian.
Really?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm confused. Where are you guys from?
We're from Toronto.
Fuck, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I should do my homework.
Oh, yeah?
I should do my homework, I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought you were from the States for some reason. Yeah.
No, we're from Toronto. We actually haven't played Toronto yet.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, we're about to play Toronto for our first time.
That's fucking awesome,
so,
man.
I'm really pumped.
How long has this band been in existence?
We've been a band for about a year to a year and a half at this point. It was honestly just like a side project. We had another band called The Afterimage, which was nothing to do with death metal. It was more of like a progressive metalcore type thing with a lot of singing. And
which you were doing the cleans as well.
I was doing the cleans as well. But I always wanted to make some more brutal music, some brutal death metal inspired. There's a bit of slam in there as well, and obviously still some hardcore influence. And so we created this band, and this band started to get gain some headway online. So we ended up
just released a track and then had a buzz around it.
Yeah.
And then Unique picked you guys up. Unique Leader picked you up.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fucking amazing. Yeah.
So I was really stoked, and now I'm actually able to tour more and things like that. I put like an insurance career on halt. I'd be much rather doing this, that's for sure.
Of course, yeah. Is this like your first big tour?
Definitely my first big tour. I've done some smaller runs with my old band, and we just did 2 months ago. We did a run with Signs of the Swarm, which is also on Unique Leader. Depths of Hatred from Montreal,
yes, of course, yeah.
as well, and another band called Sentinels from the States. Where it was like our best friends on tour. So I love those guys.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So.
Let's go back to that first beer. You said you said it's something Canadian. I was like, why? Okay, so what would be that? Something Canadian? Do you remember that time? What was that experience like?
Well, I probably shouldn't have been doing this, but I was at my buddy's house in 8th grade, and so they had a beer in the fridge, and so we all tried it out. And
passing around the father's beer.
That's right.
I love it.
And I thought it was going to taste a lot worse than it. Well, comparatively now, I think it tastes bad, but back then I was like, oh, it's actually not that bad beer. Yeah, so that's the story of my first beer.
There's a crazy craft beer scene in Ontario.
That's right, yes.
What would be some of your favorite craft beer breweries?
I like the Flying Monkey stuff.
Yes.
For like a lighter beer, I like Bose.
Yes.
Like Lug Tread.
Yes, of course. That's a very everyday drinker.
That's a great. Yeah. It definitely has replaced anything else that is in that a bit lighter everyday beer. I've been drinking a lot of this beer called Jurassic. I'm not sure what the brewery.
Jurassic.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, there's actually a local bar that's right behind my house called the Only Cafe, and it's got like 24 different
taps. Oh, I love shit like that. Yeah.
All kinds of local craft beer, so it's like my go-to spot.
That's so cool. What does Brand of Sacrifice have coming up after this tour?
So we've got something that hasn't been announced. We're going to be doing a U.S. run again with a few bands. That one band's going to put out a record. I don't know if I can say anything about it yet, but
you'll tell me afterwards.
Yeah.
You guys don't get to hear it.
So we're going to be doing that October to November or
Wonderful.
so. And then we're already started writing our next record.
Smart.
So
sort of like in a day and age where you have to be, when you have like the hype, you just have to continually keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly it.
And Unique Leader has been taking good care of you. If not, I'll call DeFonts and make it work out. Yeah.
No, I'm really happy with the team that we have kind of established. I don't think we would have seen the trajectory we did without that team. Like we have. Everybody's killing it in their individual role. Jamie, DeFonts, Bryce is killing it.
Shout out to Bryce, man.
Shout out to Bryce. Yeah. There's lots of people on the back end. It's just it's been great. Little to no hiccups at all, which you can't ask for much more. So,
what would be a dream tour? Considering you guys are just so fresh, what would be a dream tour?
I would have said Summer Slaughter, but we're on it now, so it is a dream.
What was that moment there like when you get the email? I assume it is at this day. It's not a call anymore.
Yes, the
text maybe even.
It was a text from DeFonts.
So funny, fucking DeFonts. You got DeFonts, but in a good way,
in the best way possible. So DeFon's texts me. He's like, hey, check your email in a second. You got an offer. I need a response in an hour. I'm sitting on a layover going home to Texas, and I need to respond because it's getting announced tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm not even going to message our band chat. We're going to say yes.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
So, and then everybody's like immediately yes when I told them. So we had an hour to respond.
I know what Summer Slaughter's like. It's rigorous, long days.
Yes.
Long travel. You guys, I assume, are in a van.
We're in a van, yeah.
So you're driving yourselves, or you have a driver? I hope you have a driver.
We have 2 drivers at the moment.
That are in the band.
Well, one that's in the band and one that's doing our merch as well.
Okay, wonderful.
So.
Because I know the drives are long, the load-ins are ridiculously early. You guys being the opening act.
That's right.
Have to be there early to get sound check in. How have you guys been handling that?
It's been tough, but I don't think we've been late once. We're very focused on being professional, being there on time, and getting our job done, and being very nice to everybody around us, and trying to meet new people and make those connections. So, although it's been we're losing a bit of sleep and things like that, and that gets a bit stressful on the back end, I think it's just so rewarding when you're actually in the venue with all the bands and getting loaded out and all that kind of stuff. So to me, it doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, I can maybe the drivers more than myself. I don't drive.
It's rough. It's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we're really happy to be a part of the tour. We're humbled by it, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do something, especially such a young band that we are. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
It's fucking awesome. My new Canadian brother.
That's right.
I didn't have. So proud of you. Cheers. Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Cheers.
Drinking a beer. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
I wish you guys the best of success.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening right to the end. You know that I love and appreciate that. Kyle, so cool. I love sitting down with vocalists and just discussing their vocal technique, especially when they're as talented as Kyle is. Really, he really knows what he's doing. There's no surprises or just happenstances that's happening. He is a phenomenal vocalist, and if you don't know who Brand of Sacrifice is, you should check it out. I have to give a huge shout out to Marie-Mado Langlois from Brasseur de Montreal for hooking me up with all of the beer that I had at the Heavy Montreal Festival to share with all of my guests. I greatly appreciate it, and I know that my guests did as well. So cheers to you, Marie-Mado. I'm in the process of getting all the shirts, the Vox&Hops Enjoy Life, Metal, and Craft Beer shirts that you guys all pre-ordered so quickly last week. So I'm stoked to get them out to you. Very, very appreciative once again of all of you for picking it up. Cheers. I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great week. Hang out with your family. Enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox&Hops heads.